Good morning, everybody. Jack, how are you feeling? I hope that you didn't catch any of my germs or anything. I would like to thank first Jack for giving us the opportunity to stand in this platform and talk about the Abu Dhabi experience and journey. Today, I will be talking about how Abu Dhabi government is working towards enriching the lives of citizens, towards transforming the face of the government services. Of course, as they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So as the SDI. The spatial data infrastructure of Abu Dhabi was built for more than a decade, 11 years exactly. And during this time, we used the phase approach. So in the first phase of the development of the ADSDI, we really focused on building a very strong foundation in which we collaborated with government entities on developing new projects, on data sharing, and also creating and establishing such strong strategic partnerships with Esri. This resulted in improving our citizen services, in addition to looking at the data differently. As mentioned by His Excellency Yunus, is that today the GIS data can provide so much information. It's not just providing me location information, it's providing me information about that location, what is happening. So this was the second, this is how today our strong foundation has been built. And also, we are today developing and co-creating with our citizens new services. We started listening to what they want. Before, the government used to provide the services to the entities on a silver plate and telling them this is the service. But the customers, they started, some of them complaining or they're not too happy. Today, we consider the citizens our partners in the government. So we started co-creating and developing and designing unique customer experiences, which is something that today in Abu Dhabi government we are really focusing on, is looking at the customer experience through a journey perspective. Now, when we talk about being a one government focused on customer experience, what we mean by that is that we want to be a very seamless and convenient government. We want to be able to provide the services to the entities anytime, anywhere, and to anyone, and create a very unique and special and personalized experience for that customer. This will result in, and taking that journey approach, it will result in improving the government efficiencies that we have today. And this will result in increasing our customer satisfaction, which we are targeting in 2020 to raise it to 90%. As you know, in Arabic, we say, رضا الناس غاية لا تدرك. So it's very hard to please customers, but we're targeting at least 90% by 2020. Before we started with the journey, we started to look at simple activities that the customer would do. So, for example, issuing a trade license. Based on the study that we have done in collaboration with the government entities, local, federal, and also private, we realized that for a simple trade license, the customer would go to 13 touch points. And that's the minimum. I'm not saying that's the average. I'm saying that's the minimum. 13 touch points. So you would go from one government to the other, fill in some forms, present them, and it was a complex and confusing because some entities would tell you, no, you have to get me this paper before that. And when you go to that entity, would they say, well, did you get the approval from that entity? So it was complex. It was a puzzle that the customer shouldn't have to fix. Using the journey approach, what we did is we looked at what are the redundant activities that the customer is doing. What are the redundant paperwork? What are they doing, and why are we doing it? Do we really need to fill in these forms? Do we really need these papers? How can we today look at a one-stop shop? And this is what we have done. We gathered all this information, put everything in place, and today anybody can start a business through one click. And not only that, since announcing that we want to be a digital government, many entities started coming up with websites, coming up with applications, service centers, call centers. As you can see here, the numbers are huge. And as a customer, if I wanted to complain or search for information, I wouldn't find one information in one website. I would find it in 20 websites. But who do I trust? Who do I believe? If I want to follow up on a case that I wanted to know about, why is my license still stuck and it's still not issued? I would have to find which call center should I call. Should I call the Unified Abu Dhabi Government Call Center? But what if this government entity is not under it? So that was the issue. So it was very confusing, very complex. Today, what we have done is we unified all these multiple channels into one omni-channel, so making it a truly one-stop shop. And this today is TAMM. I know that we are in an Arabic-speaking country, and everybody knows what TAMM means. But for those, as Sahil said, we have nearly 1,000 people. TAMM means done. And what we mean by this is we try to, as a government, to provide that service to the customer before they even ask for it. So instead of waiting for the customer to tell us what they want, we start to provide it to them. And we're doing that through utilizing and leveraging all the latest technologies towards a geosmart Abu Dhabi. Now, how is today the GIS is used in TAMM? So using the power of GIS, I'll give you two examples. So I have two journeys today to present. One of them is somebody moving to a new home, whether it's a resident, citizens, or a visitor. So if I want to search and discover what is this area, what does it have? Many of the property websites that you would go to, they would tell you there's one property that is available here, but you want to know what's going on in this area. Is it suitable for me to live? So in the discover phase, which I would like to thank Esri for their support in this because they helped us in designing that phase, we start to look at a map, which is the ADSDI map, and all the information that is in it is authoritative information. It is coming from the owners. So we look at what does this area contain? What are the activities, shops, and everything that is, all the information related to that area. Then I start to explore, where do I want to move? What do I want? Do I want to be near the beach? Do I need to be some place excluded? Do I want to be an area where there are a lot of schools, since I have a family? And from there, after I have made my decision, I move to the phase of live. In the phase of live, what I look at is, okay, what are the events happening nearby me or in Abu Dhabi? Do I need to subscribe for that event? Do I need to pay for it? I can ask for the telecommunication, utilities, and everything while I'm at my home. Get all these services from one-stop shop. I don't need to go to the utilities website. I do not need to go to a properties website. I don't need to do all of this. Everything now is in one place. From an investor perspective, now opening a medical facility is one of the most complex and activity to do, and you need a lot of research just to open one medical facility. This journey has 4 phases. We first need to discover where are the medical facilities needed? Where can I open it? Maybe if I open it in this area, there are too many medical facilities, they don't need us. Maybe this area has a gap in a certain area of medicine. Can I provide that services to them? Then I move to the build and design, where I can look for, where I can upload the design for my medical facility and get it approved and send an inspector. And I also, in parallel, I can look at the hiring process. And this is, we are dealing with the government agencies who are responsible for hiring doctors and medical medical people. So I can do all this, and after I get the approval on my design, I can launch and operate. Now, do you remember the 13 touch points that I talked about? Well, this is one of the examples. It was very complicated. And sometimes some of the documents would expire, and the person who wants to open that medical facilities will have to go back through that endless vicious loop to get to do it all over again. Now, with the TAMM, opening a new medical facility will take you approximately an hour to do it, to get the initial approvals to move forward. This makes it easier and for investors and people who want to live in Abu Dhabi to do business. And it will raise our customer satisfaction. Now, what's next for Abu Dhabi? Are we stopping here? We're not stopping here. We are very ambitious in Abu Dhabi. We always want more, and we know that we can provide more. And we have leaders who are looking for different ways to create a more happier, a more investor-friendly, people-friendly country. So what we're looking at is we want to be in Abu Dhabi a new benchmark for technology adoption. We have built the new TAMM facility in Abu Dhabi, where we can do experimental and try different things. We want to be the foundation where future generations can build upon our success. And also, we want to be the drivers of innovation. Now, for those who are interested to learn more about TAMM, I would like to welcome you also in our booth inside. And I would like to thank Esri for their support and for the chance and giving us a chance to speak over here. And thank you very much.